Alright guys, so what I'm doing today is I'm flushing out my water heater. This here's the valve that came with it. This cheap little plastic garden hose style valve. You may have the same exact thing, or you may have one that looks similar but it's brass. Regardless, if you look inside of there, you can see there's quite a restriction. So if you have any debris or scale or anything in there, it's going to clog that right up, and that's what it was doing to mine. So that unscrews. It's in there pretty tight. You got to be careful you don't snap it off in there if it's plastic. I just ran up to Lowe's and I got a, this is 3/4, all 3/4 inch pipe. I got a 3/4 inch coupler right here. You can use brass if you want. I just got a plastic one because it's 58 cents versus like $8. And then I got a ball valve here. So when it's open, there's no restriction in there. It's wide open. Just PVC, a few bucks, like $3 or $4. And then this here is a 3/4 inch thread to garden hose male thread. So it's just a little coupler there, but it allows you to hook your garden hose up to it. So all this is available at Lowe's, Home Depot, wherever you go. So what I did to start the draining process, go up here and show you. You may or not have a accumulator or whatever this thing's called. I forget now. But and you may or not have a hot water circulation pump. But mine has it. This basically is so you have hot water whenever you turn any of the hot water faucets on. You don't have to wait a minute or a minute and a half to get hot water. So on mine, if you don't have this, just forget all of it. This really doesn't matter. But on that, I just shut the valve off, turned the pump off. Easiest way, I just unplugged it. Just unplugs right out of the wall there. And this here is your cold water going into the water softener, coming out of the wall and going right in there. And that there bypasses your hot water circulation pump. So I basically bypassed it, turned the pump off so I'm not going to burn it up, and shut the water off going into the tank. So no cold water going in the tank. At that point, I went ahead and hooked everything up down there, opened the valve up, and disconnect it. You can disconnect either one you want, the cold going in or the hot coming out. It's going to do the same thing. It's just going to allow you to create a vacuum. See if you can hear it. Or not create a vacuum. It's going to allow you to stop the vacuum and allow a free flow. You could go inside and open a hot water faucet up. I just decided to do it here. So that way there's no vacuum. You're letting fresh air in there as it drains out down there. And if for some reason it won't drain, you should with that big 3/4 inch pipe in there. But if for some reason it doesn't, just go ahead and connect that right there back up and turn your cold water valve going in. Just turn it on all the way and open that valve up. It'll flush it out of there. It'll force the crap started. And then afterwards, go ahead and do this, and let's go see how it's draining out at the street. Okay, so it's draining. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if you can see it, but there is stuff coming out of there. It looks like air bubbles, but it's not. Let me try to put my hand over here. It's pretty darn hot. Well, anyways, here's some of it over here. I don't know what to call that exactly. It almost looks like a clear gel, and if you touch it, it breaks up real easy. Here's some of it here in the gutter. I mean, it's all the way down the gutter, so it's definitely getting it out of there. Just some type of I guess, mineral buildup or something or another. I'm really not sure. But it's something that came in with the water. So we're going to let that drain out all the way. Okay, so after all the water drains out of the tank here, the water heater tank, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and turn that valve on right there. That's the cold water valve that lets water in your tank. I'll turn it on for about 15 seconds, shut it off, turn it on, shut it off. I'll do that several times because the water going in, there's actually a dip tube that runs down. And it'll force water in there and stir up all that debris at the bottom. That way I can get as much debris as I can out of there. The reason I'm doing this is well, it's first of all, it's a good maintenance thing. You should do this at least once a year. Bought this house used, and this tank looks like it's about 6 years old. It's probably right at the end of its lifespan, but you know, I'm gonna get as much as I can out of it. But anyway, besides just basic maintenance, which you really should do once a year, even every 6 months ain't gonna hurt. When someone was using the shower, running the hot water, I'd hear a banging sound coming from the tank, you know, bang, 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 bang. And what that is the burner's on underneath the tank down there. You know, if you have a gas or a natural gas water heater, and it's heating it up, but there's a layer of sediment between the bottom of the tank and the water. So that's that banging sound you hear. So we got to get that out of there. Okay, so this here's a really good shot. If you can see all this stuff here, see the tank's almost empty. We're just at a trickle now. And now that it's at the very bottom of the tank, you can see all this, I don't know what you want to call it, deposit. I don't know if that's minerals or hard water deposits, I'm not sure. But if you touch it, you can see it pretty much just breaks right down. But anyway, that's the stuff that's in the bottom of the tank that we want to get rid of. So now I'll go ahead and I'll flush it a few times. Okay, I'm going to open it up and go ahead and flush it now. Now this is the cold water coming in the tank. And of course it's going to make positive pressure there. But it doesn't matter. You got 40 gallons you got to fill up. So we'll do that. We'll stop. Go ahead and do it one more time. Then we'll go back out to the street, see if we see any more. Okay, we're coming back out here and I can already see more stuff coming out. You can see them chunks coming out there. The water's kind of cloudy looking. That's because we've stirred it up. The fresh water going in there, stirring everything up on the bottom of that tank. So we'll go ahead and let this run until it stops. I'll go in and do it, you know, keep doing it until I don't see any more sediment coming out. That's the word I was looking for, sediment. Looks like it's running pretty clear there, but we won't know until it slows down. That's when all the stuff comes out. Right here you can see the sediment there building up in the crack. You can also see it down there. It's quite a bit of it, like two different types. There's like a white and then a tan color. But whatever it is, we're getting it all out of there. This is probably a good reason to put a sediment filter when a water line first comes in your house, which I'm going to do. Catch it before it goes anywhere and put a sediment filter in there. Okay, here we go. It was running nice and clean, and now that it's coming to a trickle, you can see the sediment coming out again. And I definitely want to get it all out, so I'll go in there and repeat the process again. See quite a bit of it coming out now. Okay, so I went in there and filled it up again. Not filled it up, but got a good, decent amount of water in there. As you can see, there's more sediment coming out. So I'm not going to film this whole thing. We'll let this run its course, and then I'll do it again if need be. Okay, I've got a lot of water coming out now. I put that top hose back on so there's no vent now. Turn the water on full blast, and I'm just letting it build up pressure and blow it out of here. Get everything out of there. Alrighty, I filled the tank up probably about a quarter of the way with it under pressure. That hose on there. Turn the water off, took that hose back off, so now we have a vacuum at the top. I'm going to let it drain one last time. I'll let you see when it slows down at the very end, see what it looks like. Okay, here we are. We're at a trickle, and we're getting a few more of the deposits out. Not as much as before, though. Looks like it's almost running out of there clear now. Yeah, looks pretty good. I'll do one more and then I'll get back to you. Okay, here we are after one additional flush, and there is still quite a bit of that coming out of there. I don't know, those might be bubbles. Let me see. Yeah, I think those are bubbles. Oh yeah, looks like it's running nice and clear now. We'll see what it does at the very end here. Yeah, I think we're pretty good, because we definitely see it in this crack here like before. I washed that crack out before I started. Not seeing any debris in there now. Still have it down there from before. Alright, it's coming to an end right there, and there's one little piece there. That's it though. Looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. Alright, just because I'm me and I'm anal as shit, that was a 75-foot hose I was running through. So I'm going to let it go one more time in this bucket, see what we get. As you see, we have much more of a flow if that hose isn't hooked up. Just want to make sure it's draining nice and fast like it should, and no crap's coming out. Alright, I'm going to have to shut it off here. I'll be right back. Okay, that bucket looked real clean. We're going to do the rest. Whatever else is in there, get it out. I don't think this one will fill this bucket up. Yeah, I'd say it's coming out nice and clear, nice and clean. That's what I want it to see. The sediment's going to come out. This is when it comes out at the last trickle. No, it looks good to me. I think we got the inside of that tank as clean as we're going to get it. One good thing is I didn't see any rust or anything like that. Just this hard water deposit crap. Alright, let's shut this off. And we'll go out here and take a look in this bucket in the sun. And I think it's clear. Here. Instead of throwing it away, I'll water my tree. Oh yeah, that's very clear water there. See it coming out. No more garbage left in there. Okay, so that's that. We're done. I'm going to go ahead and leave this fitting on there. That way next time it'll be real easy to flush. 3/4 inch pipe, like I said, versus this little tiny hole there. It's no bueno. And got our hot water supply back on there and tightened. All we have to do now is go ahead and turn the water on. Go ahead and let that start filling. I'll open up a pipe or a faucet inside to get the air out real quick. Turn a bathroom faucet on a little bit. Just crack it open. There we go. Get the air coming out of there. Okay, and the reason we have air coming out is because we're filling the tank back up with water. It's displacing the air in the tank. It needs somewhere to go. It's coming out here. Okay, we'll go ahead and turn the flame back on. I put it on vacation. That's where I normally keep it, right about there. Hopefully it'll be a little more efficient now since we got that layer of deposit and crap off of there. Let's see how we're doing up here. Won't have any leaks here until it fills up, but I don't feel any air. Now here's a good time to talk about this circulation pump, if you have one or not. There's really two different styles. One of them, let's say you have an older house and it was never plumbed for one of these. Well, you buy the pump and you're going to tie in, let's see, I believe, yeah, you're going to tie in on the hot side here, I believe, of the water heater. So you're going to put the pump on here and tie in, and you're going to hook it up. And then it comes with a little plastic valve with like a temperature sensing diverter thing in there. And you usually put it under the faucet that's farthest away from the water softener. Usually it's like a bathroom faucet or something. You install it in there, it comes with a little kit. That'll allow hot water to circulate all the time. But it won't let it get into the cold water. Like I said, there's like a temperature controlled valve in there or something. And then the other style is this style where the house, it's a newer home, so it was already plumbed with this loop. It has this loop already in it which goes to the faucet that's farthest away. And yeah, you can, this pump's been replaced like 8 months ago, but same basic thing. Just got a loop in there so you don't need another piece in there. You can set the timer if you're home or you're gone or whatever. I just leave mine run all the time. Doesn't really use any power that I can find, so that's it. That's how you do it. Hope it helps you. It'll extend the life and it'll help your water heater work more efficiently. Now there is one more thing to talk about while we're here. This right here. This is called a sacrificial anode. And I don't know if you can see in there, but it's like a hex bolt is what it looks like. So you'll put your socket in a big old breaker bar on there. I'm not sure what size it is, but whatever size it is, you'll put your socket in a big breaker bar on there, and hopefully you can crack it loose. It may turn your whole water heater around. That's how tight the darn thing will be in there. But basically what it is it's a big rod that runs, you know, half or 3/4 of the way down in your water softener. And it's, I believe it's made out of zinc. I think some of them can be, oh, there's two different materials. I know there's a zinc, one might be aluminum, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, what that does is all the chemicals in the hard water and everything, instead of attacking your tank inside the water softener and destroying it, in theory it's supposed to attack this, so it saves your tank. So if you replace this about every 3 to 4 years, you know, your typical water heater, which usually lasts for 6 years, and when the warranty's up they start leaking or something, You can go, 10, 15, 20 years if you keep this thing replaced. And if you flush it like we did down there, you can get it 20 years out of one of these if you do it. But nobody knows about this. Nobody changes this. I would change it. I'd go down and get one, but this tank already has 6 years on it. It doesn't look like it's been maintained before I got here. So we're just gonna leave it alone. I don't want to open up a can of worms, mess something up there. So we're gonna leave it alone. And when the new water heater, 3 years after I put it in, we'll definitely throw a new anode in there. But yeah, that's all there is to maintaining it. Flush it at least once a year and change that anode rod every 3 to 4 years. All right, guys, and you might want to know what this is. Some homes have this, some don't. You can see it's factory pre-charged to 25 psi. It's basically a big diaphragm in there is what it is, and water pressure goes in here. It just it's an expansion chamber. That's what it's called, and it's code now in a lot of new homes or jurisdictions, maybe all of them. I'm not sure. But what it's designed to do is to prevent this from leaking. This here's your, I don't know exactly what you want to call it. I'm going to call it a blow-off valve. You can call it a safety valve, whatever. Get too much heat, too much pressure in here, this thing can blow up like a bomb. I mean, it can literally go out your roof, and they're crazy. That's what this is. It's basically like a bomb. Think of the old locomotives back in the day that the boilers used to blow up. So before this explodes, this is supposed to pop off, let the water and pressure come out. Sometimes these will leak, so this is the fix for that. You put one of these expansion tanks in there. All right, thanks for watching.